Okay, so we're 1 week into the NBA season, and really nothing significant has happened. A couple of interesting tidbits, and let's start at the top. The Warriors. They got smoked opening night. Nothing said, or nothing put together. The beating that they took at the hands of the Spurs, more so than the last points that were scored. The last 2 points that were scored. The Jonathan Simmons dunk over JaVale McGee. Man, that was funny. That was so funny. But also should not be taken as this is what the season's going to be. I know that so far a lot of people have said, oh, the defense is going to be bad. And my reaction is, I mean, they're figuring out. They're figuring out what they're doing defensively and offensively to some extent. And they will shore it up, in my opinion. When by the middle of the season, it won't be as big of a problem as it is right now, even though I don't consider it to be a problem. Ironically, I think that JaVale McGee might actually end up playing a bigger part. They do need shot blocking the rim. He can provide that, so if he can stay healthy, keep his head on straight, he may end up being their most lethal weapon. Or their most important. Moving on to the other side of the spectrum, a team that has surprised me has been the Brooklyn Nets. He's really, Coach Kenny Atkinson has brought over the Spurs style. They're moving, they're passing, and they're playing hard, but it's obvious the talent isn't there, but they're fun kind of bad. By that I mean, they're not bad and unbearable, to watch, but, hey, a bad that I've been looking forward to though all year. So far, it seems like it's bubbling up. The Wizards. The Wizards. 0-2. Already, Mushy goes out saying for the third game of the season, it's a must-win. Oh, team dysfunctionality. Oh, team dysfunctionality. One of the most surprising thing, as everyone has pointed out, is the Bulls. That's just fool's gold. They're not going to keep shooting the way that they are. And there's a winter is coming. Both as a metaphor for the Bulls, surprisingly hot shooting, and the fact that winter is coming. It's November 2nd. The funny thing about that Game of Thrones reference that I made, I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones. Come to think of it, never saw an episode of Mad Men either. Or Breaking Bad. There's some guys that have been early on in the season just lighting it up. Segueing from teams to individual players, there's several NBA players who are just lighting it up. My guy, DeMar DeRozan, 105 points. That's 35 points a game. He hasn't hit a single three-pointer. The thing is, if the Raptors, who as a team are going through a deep shooting funk, and I mean deep shooting funk, is the fact that DeMar DeRozan over the last 3 seasons has actually been better with his momentum going towards the basket in like a catch-and-shoot role than off the dribble. I think last year he shot 41% from catch-and-shoot, and then off the dribble, like somewhere in between, like in the mid to low teens maybe. So that when he's coming off a pin down or a screen, instead of going all the way to the basket or settling for the mid-range jump shot, which he's been doing, he may want to consider just pulling up and letting the three-pointer go and having his rhythm continue going to the basket rather than off the dribble when it seems like it's fading away from the rim, and thus he's not having success making those shots. Putting up monster numbers. I think teams not winning games. Davis, pretty much how the year is going to go. Clippers, though, they've been scary. And they're playing with an edge. I like that. Speaking of scary, we just passed Halloween yesterday. The Atlanta Hawks, they've been for real. They're going to be tough out in the playoffs if they're able to stay healthy. Depth might be an issue, but their defense has been amazing. They're not going to miss Al Horford, and Dwight Howard is going through a renaissance right now. He got away from the Rockets, so a team that I was on that's kind of having a bit of a down season, the Indiana Pacers, I was afraid that their up-tempo style was going to, and their offense-first approach was going to hurt their defense. So far it has. And also, their depth is, it leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, after their first top 6 players, it's just like a dumpster fire. Oh, and the Spurs might end up having the best record in the NBA this year, and Kawhi Leonard wins the MVP. Yep. it's another year of that. Like and subscribe, and a little bit of a PSA. I voted earlier today. You should vote. It's kind of important. Even though I kind of went there against my will. My parents and family were like forcing me to go. But you should go. It's important. I live in Ohio, and I got the voted president ballot stuff. Yeah, because I moved or registered, something like that. Yeah, but I think it's counting. But go ahead and vote, and that is a PSA, and also go ahead and like and subscribe. Bye-bye now.